Back here in Houston as Kyle Schwarber gets set to hit. We take a look at StatCast AI powered by AWS. Kyle Schwarber the opposite way, and that was to start the game. Launch angle 36 degrees, hang time almost 6 seconds, and the projected distance 369. And as Schwarber was rounding second, he wasn't sure where it was. Paul Nart, the second base umpire, wasn't sure. We're sure Chris Davinsky's in the game. 19th appearance. Astros bullpen's been really good.
He's been a big part of this bullpen for a while.
Lashes that one into left. So, man aboard here to start the 8th for the Cubs. Davinsky facing Schwarber, who has homered and struck out a couple of times. Cubs here tonight. Hasn't exactly been an offensive explosion. 2 runs on 7 hits. But Rossi, one of the things worth pointing out for the Cubs here this year, and that is something that Theo Epstein and company, they wanted to change a little bit of the culture. Last year they had a decent offensive team, but Joe Maddon's team in 2018, they scored 1 or none 39 times. That was the most in the majors. This year they've taken a little more of an opposite field approach. Whether there's a correlation, who knows? But so far this year they've changed that. So again, last year 0 or 1 runs in 39 games. It happened the most times in the majors. This year only 4 times. Second fewest in the majors. Only the Braves have been held to those numbers fewer times. So
there was definitely an emphasis on spring training, on the group getting better at situational hitting, moving the baseball a little more. I think in our game, everybody's kind of gone to that. Move the baseball a little bit more, but you have to still look at a little bit. Addison Russell was out. Chris Bryant was hurt. Wilson Contreras really had a tough second half after making the All-Star team. So some guys that, yeah, Javi came about. Riz still had a great season, but there was a lot of guys that just didn't perform up to their capabilities or were injured.
And so Schwarber, after the time, steps back into the box, awaiting a 3-1 from Davinsky. Man at first, nobody out. Shortened the bunt. And that is ball 4. 2 on and nobody out for Chris Bryant. A reminder, tomorrow on ESPN Plus, Mets and Dodgers finish up their 4-game series in LA, 10:10 Eastern. Starting free trial now by downloading the app or going to ESPNplus.com so you can watch the game anywhere. So 2 on and nobody out. Chris Bryant at the plate with that axe handle bat. That's what he's been using. I guess April 26th was when it happened. He broke his regular round knob bat in a plate appearance in Phoenix against Robbie Ray. And his backup that day was an axe handle bat. So like in the middle, I mean, that's not a small thing, changing from round knob to axe handle in the middle of the at-bat. In the air, towering fly ball. Marisnik makes the catch. Oh boy, Schwarber's got to hustle back to first and safe at first. The Schwarber thought Bodie was going to try to advance, and Schwarber kind of climbed up on him.
Yeah, well, David Bodie tags here on this deep fly ball from Chris Bryant. See him go back. As soon as he sees Marisnik's going to catch it, he goes back. Schwarber's got to run with his head up. And when you're at first base, you have to run with your head up and look at the base runner in front of you. Alex Bregman gets it and throws it to first base, just not in time for Kyle Schwarber hustling back. But got to run the bases with your head up. We get preached that when you're playing all the way up through the different levels. That never stops.
So here's Rizzo now. Anthony Rizzo 1 out of 3. He's off to a good start. He's not used to that, you know.
I talked to him yesterday, like, I don't know what to do. I'm almost hitting 300. That's usually always my goal. What am I changing my sights to from then on? He's notoriously a slow starter, and off to a very hot start for him so far this year and having a great month of May.
Yeah, he's normally chasing it, you know. He's normally in a spot, you know, last year the back was bothering him early, so March and April was bad, and he was just kind of chasing his season. But I mean, this year he's been one of the most productive offensive players in the National League so far this year.
Well, if you look at his baseball card over the years, a very consistent player in every category, and he's on pace this year to exceed those numbers that he's used to putting up.
Yeah, and again, you're talking about since the start of the second half 2018. I mean, he's 5th in the National League in OPS, so he's been one of the best offensive players in the league.
You hear a lot of talk about when you focus on this team, you always hear about the young guys, the Schwarbers, the Bryants, the Baez's, but this has been the staple for this organization for a long time. He's the only guy that's been there through the tough times, the 100-loss seasons, and really played 2 Gold Gloves over at first base, 1 platinum. This guy is a true leader and an everyday staple in that lineup in the 3-hole.
Tracking that one all the way into the mitt of Chirinos, and a count 3-1. And you see him with the, you know, the hand, and at times even when it's not 2 strikes, he'll choke up. But you see him right now, he's got that pinky right down there at the bottom of the knob, and he's looking to let it loose. And there's a strike. And now we'll see him choke up a little bit on the back with a count 2 strikes. And you see him, yep, he'll inch up on that bat. Payzone said that wasn't a strike. But you check out the grip from the power hitter. He goes from the end of the bat and now up, I don't know, let's say about 1.5 inches.
He'll get that foot down early as well.
Different approach. Change up, swing and a miss. Davinsky's got a great one when it's right. And so from 3-0 to a strikeout.
Yeah, that's a Bugs Bunny changeup. Back-to-back changeup. The one in you saw there. Rizzo didn't get the foot down. He still went to drive the baseball, but you see this changeup. He turns over from Davinsky, just disappears from Anthony Rizzo. Great arm speed from Chris Davinsky.
Here's Baez now. Got a single sandwich between a ground out and a 5-4-3 double play. And again, you can tell with Baez, I mean, the numbers he's put up have been great. He's not healthy right now. I mean, Joe Madden told me he's playing 3rd tonight because he doesn't swing it so great in the DH spot, and he'd have to move less to play 3rd. But we saw him the first time he grounded out tonight. He just didn't look great breaking down like across the bag. You could tell that Baez's foot, the heel contusion as they've called it, was bothering him a bit.
Made a nice play in the hole earlier, and it was, you could tell just that initial push off running on that foot is bothering him, and I think it affects him in the box a little bit too. This game's so difficult to play when you're healthy, much less when something's bothering you.
Woo. Big swing. And whatever you want to say, this is one of those guys, it's hard to take your eyes off him.
Yeah, it is. One of the most exciting players in baseball. He can do a lot on the bases, in the box, power, the glove, the whole deal, the tagging we never talked about. But he's a guy that is actually committed to hitting the ball to the opposite field a lot more this year. One of the stats you were talking about earlier, as a group, yes, they're using the whole field, but he is a guy that understands now I can go deep to right just as well as I can go deep to left, and has clipped a bunch of balls to right field this year. Letting the ball travel has been something he's really been focusing on, seeing as long as he can.
Cubs as a team 4th in the majors in batted balls to the opposite field. And Baez, in terms of his hit disbursement, has done a great job going the opposite way this year. And to me, it's impressive when you're talking about a guy who finished second in the National League MVP voting, and he said, yeah, I'm going to try and take the ball the other way a little bit more this year.
I love, well, we were talking about Alex Bregman earlier, and finding your weakness and how do we capitalize or get better at our weaknesses. And that's what great players do. They're trying to take those weaknesses and make them as little as possible.
So with 2 down, the bases are loaded. Cubs looking for some insurance. Here in the 8th, sacks back for Wilson Contreras, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. 2-1, Cubs lead it. And Brent Strom will head out to the mound. Brady Rogers up and loosening, and while we have a moment, help send your All-Stars to Cleveland with the 2019 Google MLB All-Star Ballot. New this year, and after the first ballot, the top 3 players at each position will advance to a special starters election. Vote at MLB.com/vote and on Google by searching for your favorite player or MLB Vote. Dewey says vote, everybody. That's a great Dewey guy. Wilson Contreras, career with the bases loaded. How many grand slams in your career?
I have no idea. Maybe 2? I don't know my stats. They were so bad I tried to forget them. I just remember the great moments. Ivan, get on it. On it. We need that stat. I think 2. I know I took Jake Arrieta deep for 1. Just saying. I love you, buddy, if you're listening.
Here's a strike. Wait, so he was with
Baltimore. I was with Atlanta.
How long did it take you to bring that up to him?
He actually brought it up to me. Oh, yeah, I was right. 2. Ivan just told me. 2. I think they're both in Atlanta.
A 1 down.
He brought it up to me. I had forgotten that I'd even take. He wasn't the same guy. He wasn't crossfire
right.
Jake Arrieta. It was on first base side of the rubber.
Jeff.
All right, Rossi.
What do you got?
Left-handed pitcher, New York Mets.
Matz? No, it can't be Matz. He owned me.
No, he isn't. Matz too young for you?
Nice.
Attaboy.
That's what it. John Neese. He found my barrel too. Those are pitchers that found my barrel.
I mean, you basically, it was like you were swinging a 2-iron, that down and in bat path.
I was just over
Smartened
top
up,
guy.
everybody.
Right?
All loaded up. Are you having trouble seeing, Ross? It's a 1-2.
Got a fan standing up in front of me. I'm trying to lock it in. It's a good at bat by Wilson Contreras here. Got to think Chris Davinsky's going to throw this changeup. Plus changeup here. Steps off.
You can see a lot of blue here along with the orange in Houston. Cubs fans will travel, and they're everywhere. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, all loaded up. Cubs by a run. Got it. Contreras knew it. Davinsky out of the jam. We head to the bottom of the 8th at Minute Maid.
Join us each week for the Off the Mound with Ryan Dempster podcast, presented by Sloan. Don't miss the in-depth conversations with some of the biggest names in baseball, plus celebrities, musicians, and more.
You think you know what a manager goes through as a player, but you have no idea until you actually go through some of those conversations or decisions and the kind of ups and downs of a season.
Download and subscribe to the Off the Mound with Ryan Dempster podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and it's all presented by our good friends at Sloan.
I've always had a problem with sweaty hands.
My feet were so sweaty. The general sports bra area.
My upper lip and my forehead.
It was just stressful.
It's
really been a tremendous struggle.
We don't just sweat under the arms. So we created the Carpe line of sweat management products for all over the body.
I haven't had sweaty hands in 2 years since I started using Carpe.
Honestly, just completely changed my life.
Avoid expensive treatments, injections, and prescriptions. Get Carpe today with limited time savings of up to 30% off at mycarpe.com.
When you run a business in Chicago, you have to be ready to put in the hours, put in the work, brave the elements. Running a business here comes with ups and downs. The downs make you tougher, the ups keep you pushing. At Wintrust, we know what that's like because we started here too, with one small location and have found a way forward. No one knows how to support a Chicago business like another. From us to you, keep going. We've got your back.
You're not getting any younger. I'm just hitting my stride. You're so old, you should have been planning for your funeral 5 years ago. You're almost officially dead. Well, if I do drop dead, at least my family will get their benefits fast. Just call USA Family Protection. I did it, and it was one and done. No blood work and no doctor's visit. You're right. What? You said that I was right about something? Did anybody hear this?
I see your point. Let's not get crazy here.
USA Family Protection. Apply today by calling the number on your screen.
The FabFitFun Winter Box is something for everyone. Go to fabfitfun.com and join today.
All right, I don't know what's going on, Brick, but you know you gotta get it together, buddy.
That's what Boog says to the truck.
Clean it up.
Let's go.
Oh, those are good mustaches.
Those guys are at every game.
Yeah,
they're warming up. They're here early.
Warming up?
When I was out there, used to play.
Really?
Play catch. Yep, they're out there early.
Hendricks drops one in for a strike to Fisher. He's had a tough night. 0 for 3 with 3 punches.
And they've got him out. Change up with the first strikeout. Fastball up and change up. Typical Kyle Hendricks.
Derek Fisher, former first-round pick out of the University of Virginia in 2014. I mean, you talk about a boatload of talent. Now, this guy hasn't gotten consistent opportunities, but, I mean, look, here's what his slash line was at AAA. 314, 383, 555. That's average on base and slugging with 8 homers. Popped up foul. And Baez pulls it down. So Fisher retired. Man, I tell you what, just watching Alex Bregman, I would have gotten them to get to it. Alex Bregman in the on-deck circle. If you look at where Brantley is right now, I mean, Alex Bregman was close to behind the plate, and up on the grass, I mean, he was
close.
Close.
That's an Albert Pujols move. He used to be so far. I feel like he was in my back pocket when I was catching. Alex Bregman trying to see, get his eyes adjusted, time him up. You see him getting that. I love his setup. He calls it a scap set. Like when he gets ready to hit, watch his back hands. He'll set them and just really rock back on his backside, and he's ready to fire. Hits from such a standstill. It's such a quick.
He was having trouble though. So Bregman was just in the on-deck circle. I mean, you see where Brantley is. I mean, Bregman was closer to where the RTIC was, like that close in the on-deck circle.
That scared me. Watch him set this back.
Yeah, see, look, here's how close he is. Good job by our guys at the far left of your screen. Good job by our. I mean, that's a big difference from where Brantley is. Just trying to get a closer look. Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to get that timing right, see what the ball's actually doing.
But then also on the other side, it's a weird thing. Guys don't like that, right?
No, yeah. You don't like.
It's a no-no.
I don't want you in my view, especially if I'm a pitcher.
Yeah.
Catcher, don't get in my line of sight.
On the ground, Russell charges, collects, throws low, and Rizzo picks that one. 2 down, and we go down to Jeff Passan.
You know, guys, the art of going deep into games is a lost one. Boog, you and I were talking with Cole Hamels about this before the game earlier today. In the month of May alone, Kyle Hendricks has thrown a shutout on 81 pitches, gone 8 innings against the Miami Marlins. The next start, the start after that, 8 more innings against the Cincinnati Reds. If he gets an out here, he will be the first pitcher in Major League Baseball this year with at least 4 outings of 8+ innings.
Yeah, it's unheard of in today's game for guys to go that deep.
That's a great note, Jeff. You're exactly right. It's such a lost start. These guys, what a valuable piece it is when you have guys like this on your staff to help your bullpen. The Cubs bullpen's been banged up a little bit with Pedro Strop and Brandon Morrow out, some of the back-end guys. So when you have these guys going past the 6 in an era where we're using so much bullpen, it's extremely, extremely valuable outing.
And Passan, you watched our telecast enough, whether it's Rossi or Rossi and Sut. I mean, those compliments get thrown around like manhole covers. So when you're talking, when you get, that's a great note, Jeff, or me dropping a great point, Rossi, you know you've hit the jackpot.
Especially when he's not coming in after going, meow.
Yeah, that's
I thought about it, but, you know, it's the first game we've done together.
2-1 now.
This is what exactly Michael Brantley does to you as a pitcher and a catcher. He's got such a quiet approach. You know where he's looking for the ball and how dangerous he is. You're still extremely careful with 2 outs, nobody on in the lead in the 8th.
There's a strike to make it 3-2. And the better way as well to put it is Kyle Hendricks getting into a 4th time through the order as a starting pitcher in today's game. It just doesn't happen. Great plate appearance by Brantley. It'll turn it over to Gurriel. Let's take a look at K-Zone 3D.
Just misses. Well, K-Zone has it a little bit.
Got a piece of the cheese.
Got a piece of the cheese, as Boog says. Pulls that changeup down and in. Wilson Contreras tries to make it look good, but just doesn't happen.
Tommy Hotovy out to the mound. And while we have a moment, we'll check in with John Brickley.
Boog, take 2. Mets and Dodgers tonight. Noah Syndergaard getting some early run support off the bat of Pete Alonso. His 18th home run of the season. Half those home runs have come on the road. 2-0 Mets in front in the 2nd in Los Angeles. Cardinals and the Phillies. Home run derby tonight for the Phillies. In the 5th, a runner on. Scott Kingery taking it out of the ballpark. Maikel Franco would follow it up with back-to-back home runs. 2nd time in the last 5 days. Boog, the Phillies have gone back-to-back. They're cruising up on St. Louis 11-1.
Well, last night, the Cubs hit 5 homers and lost. Now, this from my good buddy Len Casper, who's the voice of the Cubs on TV. How rare is it for a team to hit 5 or more homers and lose? In the last 10 years, teams hitting 5 or more homers played .901 baseball. That's .901. 90% of the time you win if you hit 5 or more homers. By the way, this year it's already happened 5 times that a team has hit 5 or more homers and lost. Andre, what? I don't even know what to say. I'm stunned. Can we open up his mic? All right, let's roll replays. Jimmy Platt, what do you got? Bouncer to the third base side, off the net, spins, caught, Andre.
Wow.
The ricochet. Somewhere Perry Hill is smiling.
Move with the 5 Fs.
The 6 Fs.
6 Fs. I know it's close. I can't count.
Laser to right, Hayward back. And he makes the grab. We're headed to the 9th. Good fielding all the way around, including our camera guys. That's what I'm talking about, Trey.
Some Western philosopher once said, the point of life is helping each other get through it. These days, we're all looking forward to getting back to the way things were. But even the days we wish to forget have had moments we'll want to remember. Moments that defined us. And at Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, we know that in the end, how we get through it all will always depend on who we get through it all with.
I need new struts for my 2010 Chevy. Let me see struts by AC Delco, KYB, and any under $50.
We might be able to get some struts from the warehouse.
Why watch the counterman tap on his computer and hope he chooses the right part? Go to rockauto.com. Auto and body parts from hundreds of manufacturers. Choose the brands, prices, and features you want. Auto parts at the lowest price. Conveniently delivered to your home or business.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
I am Robert Strickler. I've been involved in communications and the media for 45 years. I've been taking Prevagen on a regular basis for at least 8 years. For me, the greatest benefit over the years has been that Prevagen seems to help me recall things and also think more clearly. And I enthusiastically recommend Prevagen. It has helped me an awful lot.
Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
Advocate Aurora Health is here to help you stay safe and healthy 24/7. If you have questions about COVID-19, visit our online resource guide to get the latest information and use the COVID-19 symptom checker. You can also download the LiveWell app for more tools or call our hotline at 866-4HEALTH. At home, help stop the spread by avoiding unnecessary contact with others and washing hands often. We're in this together.
Yeah, it's still the most wonderful time of the year. 'Tis the playoffs with DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers can bet $1 on any football game to win 100. Just pick a team, and if they win, you win. It's that simple. Because life's more fun with skin in the game. Download the DraftKings at Casino Queen Sportsbook's app. Bet $1 to win 100 and make it rain.
You know Miller Lite only has 1 more calorie, right?
Good choice.
Dear Winter, my squad of 15 vehicles with all-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive is revving to go. Bundle up, Toyota. Toyota, let's go places.
Back here at Minute Maid Park, John Shambi, David Ross, and Jeff Passan. And Will Harris drops a breaking ball in for a strike to Albert Almora Jr. Harris, part of what has been a brilliant Astros bullpen. 21st appearance. His ERA is 1. Astros with the best bullpen in the American League.
They got a lot of weapons down there. He's been doing it a long time for them. Really typical pitcher today in today's game. Fastballs up and breaking balls off of it. A lot of success with that 4-seamer up in the zone.
You look at Will Harris, by the way, and he's one of these guys that last 5 years, Will Harris has been one of the sneaky best non-closer relievers in the league.
You talk to A.J. Hinch about him and just loves this guy, being able to use him in these situations.
Tap to third, Gurriel unloads quickly, and Almora is out at first.
This is even more impressive when you're taking a guy that plays first base and playing third base tonight. Watch the exchange of how quick he gets rid of this to get Albert out more. Nice job using the glove and it's the hands. Watch the transfer right here. Nice and smooth. Made that look really easy throwing on the run. Great play by Gurriel.
And again, signed out of Cuba in 2016 as a third baseman, but eventually Bregman, the shortstop, came up. They moved him to third. And as A.J. Hinch told us that great story, and he's bought in, but he was wary of moving across the diamond. And A.J. said, well, why, Yuli? What are you concerned about? And he said, first they move you from short to third, then they move you from third to first, then it's first to DH, and then they send you home.
I told you about a player's mindset.
Yeah, man.
I don't.
You get it, right?
Yeah, heck yeah, man. Don't take my position away. Why are you? Am I not good enough here?
Center field, Marisnik coming on. And they're 2 down.
But there's some sneaky truth to that, right? Like there's a little bit like, yeah, this I've seen it happen too many times. You got the talent he's got, you're not going anywhere.
Looks like Kyle Hendricks coming back out.
I don't think so.
No?
I saw a lot of people talking to him in the dugout from up here.
Cishek still up. Passing, what's going to happen? Is Hendricks coming out?
I don't think so. I mean, his high this season is 100 pitches, Boog. I think he's at 106 already after that last inning. So my guess is Cishek. But hey, listen, I love seeing CGs, man. So if he runs back out there, I am all for it.
Yeah, he's at 108. There have been, it's amazing. If you could you imagine, again, David Ross, go back to when your big league debut. If I had told you we'd be playing a season where on May 29th there'd be 17 complete games in the majors total on this date.
Tell you who wouldn't like it would be Rick Sutcliffe, our good buddy.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Reddick, Chirinos, and White scheduled. Cubs lead at 2-1.
Time to get up, sweetie.
Most people might not think much about all the little things they do every day. But for me, just being able to do those little things is the best part of my day. Ready, Mom? It hasn't been easy, but sometimes the hardest things in life have the best rewards. And it's all because of my amazing friends at the Shriners Hospitals for Children and people like you who support them every month. When you call the number on your screen and just give $19 a month, you'll be helping other kids like me do the amazing things that make up the best part of our day. Because Shriners Hospital is more than just a hospital. It's when my back is better, where my legs get stronger, where I get to be a kid, where it's the best part of my day.
With your gift of just $19 a month, only 63 cents a day, we'll send you this adorable Love to the Rescue blanket as a thank you.
Please, go online to loveshriners.org right now, on your phone or computer, to send your love to the rescue today. Will you send your love to the rescue today? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for giving. Because at Shriners Hospitals for Children, going to the hospital is like going to see family. It really is the best part of my day. Please, call or go online right now to give. If operators are busy, please wait patiently or go to loveshriners.org right away. Your gift will help kids just like me have the best part of our day.
You're watching Cubs Classics, proudly presented by Prevagen. Let's get back to the action.
Well, we have our answer. Kyle Hendricks, brilliant tonight. 8 innings, 1 run, 108 pitches, and his evening is over. The Cubs on top 2-1. David Ross, he was sensational.
This is exactly what he brings to the table. We talked about the fastball usage up in the zone, how it's been a game changer for him, and he's continuing to try to be effective up in the zone way more this year. But it's the changeup is his go-to. That's what that fastball sets up. We set up the eyes. change the eye level high, and we drop that nasty changeup in there. Kyle Hendrick vintage tonight.
And again here in this one, 7 strikeouts. You don't think of him as a strikeout pitcher, but almost 1 an inning. Only 4 hits. All 4 hits, by the way, were off of changeups. He threw 31 changeups tonight, 41 sinkers, and 19 four-seamers, and dropped in a few good curveballs, and he yields to Steve Cishek.
Cishek's been their horse back end of with Stropey and Morrow being out. Pedro Strop, this has been their guy. Strike thrower, sidearmer, been around a long time. Set up, closed for different teams. Guy Joe Madden falls in love with.
So Reddick, Chirinos, and White. A 1-run game. This is the area I'm most interested to see if and or when the Cubs address it, as far as adding an arm or 2 to that bullpen.
It's a couple of teams you look around the league that need that back end of the bullpen guy.
Popped up, foul behind the plate, and making the grab is Contreras.
Cishek's another guy that, Boog, as you talked about, a sidearmer that had to reinvent himself, really working down the zone, that 2-seamer slider. He's actually throwing a lot more fastballs up in the zone later on here in his career, getting more swings and miss, trying to combat some of that launch angle and those low bat paths that we see in the game.
And that's not normal from a guy from that arm angle.
Correct.
Fastballs up in the zone as Chirinos hammers that one. The one guy, our colleague Doug Glanville, used to point this out. When you think of the side armors, to me, you're always thinking 2-seamers. You're always thinking sinkers from guys with this arm slot. The one guy who was sort of the anomaly, Darren O'Day, he would take the fastball and go up in the zone, and it was befuddling to hitters because you're expecting from that low arm slot for the ball to stay down.
And we never see that. You never get a chance to work on that as a hitter. The ball that's really traveling up and staying and forcing up, and you see it for so long. It looks so hittable. Same thing right there. You see him 2 strikes trying to go up. I've even seen a little bit of the occasion, some of the pitchers in the league now throwing some off speed up in the zone. If that ball gets hit, it's going to go a long way, but you don't see it much from a hitter standpoint.
Broken bat roller back to the mound, Cishek. And that's out number 2. And so Alex Bregman and the Astros down to their final out. Tyler White, and that one outside. Ball to strike now. Kyle Hendricks, outstanding 8 innings, 1 run. The Cubs got solo homers from Schwarber and Bryant. The Astros a sac fly from Reddick. And that's where we are. Up and in, we got it. Strike, and it's 2-2.
A nasty pitch, slider on the black after he brought that 2-seamer back for strike 1. Dusts him down and in. Goes back with that slider.
Got him. Ball game. White doesn't like the call. Cishek wraps it up. And the Cubs get a 1-run win. Schwarber goes deep, and the Cubs salvage the finale.
That two-seamer doesn't quite come back here. Wilson Contreras makes it look really good. CB Buckner, a little bit anticipating this two-seamer come back like it did the pitch before. Not quite sure that one catches the plate, but Tyler White not happy.
Time of game, a very manageable 2 hours and 37 minutes. What else would you expect? Wade Miley and Kyle Hendricks. Cubs win it 2-1. For David Ross, Jeff Passett, I'm John Shambi saying so long from Minute Maid Park as the Cubs here tonight defeat the Astros by the count of 2-1.
Thanks for watching Cubs Classics, proudly presented by Prevagen.
Just back from getting fashion tips from Richard Simmons, it's Off the Mound with Ryan Dempster. Presented by Sloan. Featuring guest, this first rounder found a home at Wrigley at just 22 years of age. 4 seasons later, 62 home runs later, he still remains a big piece of the Cubbies' future. It's Ian Happ. And now, the host of Off the Mound, Ryan Dempster.
Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Off the Mound, presented by Sloan. I'm your host, Ryan Dempster. Thanks for tuning in. We got a good one tonight. Yes, center fielder for the Chicago Cubs, Ian Happ, stopping by. He's going to talk to us about what he's been up to this offseason, his preparation going into the new 2021 season, looking to build off a breakout year for him. So always great to catch up with him, talk coffee, golf, baseball, all kinds of stuff. Happy to have Happer stop by. It's that time of year. Here we are, right in the midst of the free agent frenzy. We've seen big signings now. George Springer's off the table, going to the Toronto Blue Jays. And of course, as we see people sign, that means that we're going to lose some of our guys. Tyler Chatwood gone to the Blue Jays. Kyle Schwarber, of course, signing with the Nationals. And one other one that we lost to the Washington Nationals, and that's the big left-hander himself, Jon Lester. We just appreciate him so much. The things that he did on the north side. He brought a championship here. He fulfilled every bit of his contract. He was a model teammate, a competitor. So many great memories with him. Teammates together, of course, winning a World Series in 2013. And watching what he did to transform a culture here on the north side is pretty special. So with that being said, as we dive into it, I wrote a little something and compiled a little something that, together with our incredible editing staff, we want to put together a little note, a thank you to Jon Lester for everything he's done over the years. So, John, my friend, good luck, and this is for you. Dear John, on December 15th, 2014, you made the biggest choice of your professional career. You and your family chose to sign a free agent contract with the Chicago Cubs. The moment you did that, you changed the culture of an organization for the better. You brought an attitude of doing what needed to be done to win. You brought an expectation of accountability, of hard work, of never accepting failure as an option. Yeah, and sure, you brought us David Ross and John Lackey, only to further drive home those narratives. But with your arrival came the departure of the lovable losers. You, with a lot of your teammates, changed that mindset from what will go wrong to this is going to go right. It's going to go our way. A contract such as yours is hard to live up to. The reality is the expectations of something that big just seem unrealistic to fulfill. But John, you did just that and more. You made every start. Sure, there were games you weren't your best, but those were grossly overshadowed by the ones where you were. Giving the team a chance to win, and even better, the belief that they would win every time you took the mound. 181 starts in a Cub uniform, and none bigger than that night on October 30th, 2016. Game 5 of the World Series, down 3-1 to the Cleveland Indians at Wrigley Field, with the hearts and emotions of every Cub fan on your back. And you delivered as you always do. A Cubs victory that night, and of course, 3 days later, an eventual World Series championship. John, your commitment to the Cubs was unmatched. Your desire to bring a championship to the north side could not be denied. You brought a heart, a fire, and an intensity that no one could duplicate. The love you have for the city, the Cubs fans, the people of Chicago was as real and genuine as it gets, and it showed all the way to the end. I wish you the best of luck, but this isn't goodbye. You'll always be a Chicago Cub. You'll always be a legend here. Jon Lester in Chicago, now that's my kind of town.
Tuesday at 8, it's the next installment of Chris and Tell, the new talk show hosted by Emmy Award-winning host Chris Myers. This week, Chris is joined by two-time Super Bowl champion Jim McMahon.
I get into the huddle. I said, look, boys, I said, this game doesn't mean a damn thing. I said, we're already in the playoffs. We have home field advantage. I said, let's get this man the record that he deserves.
Catch Jim McMahon on Chris and Tell, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Tuesday at 8 on Marquee Sports Network.
You've been waiting for retirement. That means a trusted Medicare plan from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois is waiting for you. If you're 65 years or older, choose a plan that gives you more peace of mind for those moments ahead. Through it all.
I'm Greg. I'm 68 years old. I do motivational speaking in addition to the substitute teaching. I honestly feel that that's my calling, to give back to younger people. I think most adults will start realizing that they don't recall things as quickly as they used to, or they don't remember things as vividly as they once did. I've been taking Prevagen for about 3 years now. People say to me periodically, man, you got a memory like an elephant. It's really, really helped me tremendously.
Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
You know Miller Lite only has one more calorie, right?
And more taste. Good choice.
Renato's life was going according to plan.
I'm getting married in 3 days.
Until...
Meet your brother. What? What?
he hit a detour.
I have to go on a road trip with a brother I never knew I had. Yeah. Do not wake me up.
Shut the door! Shut the door!
Sorry I hit you. I didn't even want the wall.
Half brothers.
Do headaches and migraines have you stressed out? We feel your pain.
Right now, the last thing I want to do is stand in line at a pharmacy.
Or try to find an available doctor's appointment.
Thanks to Nurex, I can get ahead of my migraines and tension headaches from home.
The Nurex medical team works with me to develop a personalized treatment plan.
And they deliver my preventive and pain relief medication right to my door.
Take the stress out of dealing with migraines and break up with your headaches. Go to Nurex.com to get started.
Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Mound, presented by Sloan. Well, always excited for guests we have on this show, and we got a great one. This guy's doing great things out there, manning center field for the Chicago Cubs. Ian Happ. Happer, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Hello,
man?
Dem. I'm wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm doing fabulous. You know, it's the new year. We're moving in the right directions. Pitchers and catchers report in like under a month. Kind of crazy to think, don't you think?
Yeah, it's felt like a very long off season. I don't know if that's just because of the early exit or maybe because how short the season was, but how long it felt. But we're ready to get back. That's for sure.
Yeah, did that feel weird? I haven't asked anybody this, but like to start up a season, you know it's going to be short, but did you guys just feel like all of a sudden you were just hitting stride and then it's like, okay, it's over?
Yeah, it really did, because you had to keep yourself ready. Like you had to stay ready for so many months, and then quick spring training, quick season, and I think we finally felt like we were doing everything right. We get a hold of the protocols, everything starts to have a flow to it, and then before you know it, it's over.
And you stayed so ready. We saw it, we followed it. You guys kind of housing together. How much did that help, having a couple guys around where you guys could just kind of train together, be ready together, so when they did say play ball, that you were rip-roaring and ready to go?
Yeah, that was a huge thing for me. I think just the camaraderie through that time, difficult for everybody in the country, being away from family, loved ones. So for me, I was really lucky because my brother and his fiance were out in Arizona And then I had the guys at the compound, which was huge. So we all got to be together. We got to stay very active. We had the tennis court. We had basketball. We were able to be outside and be playing golf a little bit too. So just the entire thing was a good way for us to stay ready and to keep in baseball shape too, because you just don't get the opportunity to move around like you would on the field.
And then you get a chance to play. The season starts, and your manager David Ross gives you the opportunity to just go out there and play every day. We talk about it all the time. It's like you can never get a chance to prove yourself in the big leagues. For me as a pitcher, it was starting every 5th day. No matter what the results are, you're gonna pitch. How important was that, and how grateful were you for that opportunity, because it allowed you to kind of bust out and show what you're capable of doing?
Yeah, that was huge for me. I mean, Rossi having that faith in me to be able to put me in the lineup every day, it was something that I'm really grateful for, his trust, and being drafted as a second baseman, working on that, getting to the big leagues, playing multiple positions, and then really locking one down. I think that's the highest compliment.
Do you go back to video and watch video from this past season and maybe take a team and say, all right, how did the St. Louis Cardinals attack me all year, and kind of have that catalog so that the muscle memory of your brain remembers that, so that when it comes time to the season next year, you're like, oh, you guys want to try me, pound me at my hands? I'm going to be ready for that. Or you want to pitch me down and away? I'm ready for that too.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. Our analytics team does a great job of that, of putting together some of those way teams attacked you, especially like what worked late in the season in September when guys were attacking me, the differences, and really trying to address some of those and be prepared for it. I think that the preparation and understanding how teams are going to go about it is the biggest part of having success in the big leagues. Jim Adducci is coming in as our, I don't know what it would be. I don't know what his official title is, but offensive production specialist, I guess. And he'll be in the clubhouse with us, which I think is going to be great. I played with him in AAA in 2019. Great guy. Already talking to him about some of those things, about where pitchers try to attack, and matching that with where I have the most success. And those are some really big things going into this season.
Hey, you need to do me a favor, okay? So when he comes in, and whether it's early on in spring training or something in the weight room, just blare "I Ride My Bicycle" by Queen, because he had the worst. So we did a Cubs Idol back years ago with the team, and we had guys like Darwin Barney was playing the piano, and Justin Berg was playing the guitar, and we had all these. It was an actual contest. You had to have teams, and it lasted throughout about 5 weeks of spring training. And he wore a full chicken costume and did this dance to that song. And we almost, just on theatrics alone, moved him along. So I need that out of you. I just need you to throw that in there and fresh, and I want to see his reaction.
That is beautiful. I'm going to write that down so I can have it for spring training. He already said that we could make T-shirts that say "Just Blame Jim" if we're not hitting. So I'm all in on that.
Well, you do a lot of great things on the field, and we're going to take a short little break, and we're going to dive into those great things you're doing off the field. So many things helping out in the community. We'll be right back after this short little break. More Ian Happ right here on Off the Mound, presented by Sloan.
Call them reckless? Call them crazy. But what do you call them if you can't see them? The class exclusive blind spot view monitor, available on the Hyundai Santa Fe, can help you see them wherever they come from. Hyundai, the longer you look, the more there is to like.
Lease the Santa Fe for $189 a month, or get 0% APR for 72 months, or $4,250 bonus cash. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
Little things can be a big deal, like our all-new LiveWell app. One small icon on your smartphone with limitless health benefits, like appointment scheduling, managing health information, or finding a little calm in your busy day. Advocate Aurora Health. We're here for you.
When you're a true fan, you take every opportunity to show it. You don't let anything stand in your way. When you show team pride, you show it in the grandest of gestures. Even right down to the way you pay. Hey. If you cheer for Chicago baseball, we've got you covered.
Yeah, but that was 2005.
Nobody does football like FanDuel Sportsbook. The conference championship is here, and it's win or go home. Get an exclusive odds boost on any team to win. Bet every snap of every game, and get your winnings in as little as 24 hours. There's always more ways to win on FanDuel Sportsbook. New users get exclusive 25-1 odds on either conference championship game. Bet $5 to win $125.
In the truck game, greatness is defined by a relentless commitment to the customer, forged over decades, built by a team resolute in helping you achieve your greatness. Experience this award-winning lineup today. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling truck for 44 years straight and counting.
Hurry to get $7,250 in total savings on a Built Ford Tough F-150 XLT at your local Ford dealer.
Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Mound, presented by Sloan, as we're sitting down with Cub center fielder Ian Happ. Happer, we talked about it before we went to break, was all the great things you're doing for the community in Chicago. It really started, I think the foundation of it all started with the Compound, your guys' podcast that you guys have. You and Mekis and Short do this unbelievable podcast. Great guests. First of all, present company excluded, best guests you guys have had on the podcast.
Oh man, besides you, Demp, I think the coolest get for us was probably early on when like Jeff Garland said yes right away, like a quick yes when we were in one of our first 5 episodes. So I think that was like, oh, people want to do this. People want to talk to us. I think Riz coming out of summer camp too, like right before we started, that was a big one too, because it really, as the season started, people jumped on board, and it's been really cool to see the following the entire way.
And now that you're like an expert, question asker and interviewer, what kind of advice would you have for me so that I can do a better job at what I'm doing?
You're the best at it. I learned from you because I got to watch you do Off the Mounds at the convention. How can we have a conversation and make guys feel comfortable opening up a little bit, showing off their personality? And that's what I try to do. I try to get guys to open up and kind of show the fans that they're more than just the baseball player. They have a lot else going on in their lives, and really cool guys.
Yeah, you guys do a great job of that, and I love listening to it. It's fun hearing the stories, and the 3 of you together have obviously a lot of good synergy, and it goes really well. And then you have an avenue too, because of the podcast, to be able to do stuff like promote Quarantine Coffee. Talk to us about Quarantine Coffee, how that started, and what people can do to be able to give back to that.
Yeah, Quarantine Coffee has been such a fun project. It started with when I was in Arizona at the Compound. I reached out to Connect Roasters, who's from Bourbonnais, Illinois. Caleb, the founder over there, sent me some coffee, and I fell in love with the product. And I called him a day later and pitched him the idea of Quarantine Coffee. And they were already doing a give back where they were giving to where they were sourcing the beans from. So whether it was Guatemala or Nicaragua, they were giving percentage back to build communities, schools. And so I said, well, let's bring this to Chicago. It was the middle of the pandemic, and we really wanted to do something to give back and to help our community. So we partnered with Save the Children on the national level. And then we partnered with the Chicago Food Bank to give back here in Chicago. And it's just been such a rewarding process to be involved with a great company who's making wonderful coffee, which is I'm passionate about, and then to give back to the community and really help. Connect Roasters has been incredible. Coffeeforcovid.com is the website, and we're also doing some memorabilia giveaways with connectroasters.com. Every Friday they're doing a drop of maybe cleats or batting gloves, and so that's going to charity as well, which we've been really proud of.
And then on top of that, which is incredible stuff, you have a really awesome project that you do called Wrigley Through My Eyes. And
the Wrigley Through My Eyes project has been great.
And what was the motivation behind that?
Yeah, the motivation behind through my eyes was we had some people in the city that we knew, and they'd been to, 20, 40, 100 Cubs games, but hadn't been on the field. And when we finally brought people down on the field and they got to look back up at the stadium, they had this awe-inspired moment of just really appreciation for everything that Wrigley is. And so we thought, what better way to give back to the fans than to bring in an artist, Pat Bale, who did an incredible job drawing Wrigley by hand. And he really brought it to life. He drew in every little detail. It took him 2 weeks to do each of the 3 originals, which was just amazing to watch. And then we said, let's give all the proceeds to charity, and let's really make this a give back for the community. And it's been a really fun project. We've really enjoyed connecting. I've sold it at all the Cubs conventions. And then this year, without the Cubs convention, right around the holidays, the guys from the compound, Dakota and Zach and I said, let's do a limited release of the Through My Eyes. Let's see if we can sell these out and really make an impact. So we raised $10,000, $10,000 in 48 hours, which was incredible with all the fans. And so that money went directly to the Chicago Food Bank as well. So we really enjoyed that project and the compound being able to do our part to give back to the community.
I like the idea of the Wrigley Through My Eyes because you're right. There's something about it. You could be standing on the other side of that little gate on the cement in the stands in row 1, and it's special and it's unique. But I liken it to the scene in Field of Dreams where like he's stepping on the field. That's how it feels at Wrigley. It doesn't feel that way at every ballpark. There's a lot of new ballparks, but this place is nostalgic. It's historic. And when you open that and you stand on that, it actually sends like goosebumps through your body, especially for anybody doing it for the first time. So good for you for sharing that with everybody because it truly is a unique experience.
Yeah, you really do. You feel Ernie Banks, you feel Sandberg and Babe Ruth and guys that stepped on that field. When you really take a minute and think about the 100 years plus of history that Wrigley has, it's really special to get to share kind of that holy ground that those guys also played on.
Jon Lester, he leaves a legacy here. We all know that. We all know what an incredible human being he is. But for you personally, what did Jon mean to you? I know you guys were really, really close. What did he teach you? What kind of life lessons and baseball lessons did he give to Ian Happ so that you could have your own path in your own career?
Yeah, Jon taught me how to be a pro. From that first year in 2017, he really took me under his wing and just taught me all of the little things that go into preparing. He was the most prepared player, the most prepared pitcher I've ever seen. The way that he went about his bullpens, the way that he went about his day before prep, I think he taught a lot of guys that he played with how to do that. And it was just so amazing to watch him compete. He was one of the guys that you'd run through a wall for every day, being behind him. And it was such a privilege to get to play with him for a few years and to get to experience that. For me, he's a no doubt Hall of Famer. He changed this organization. And I can't say enough good things about what he's done for me personally, as a baseball player and just as a person.
Now, but he's going to be gone, so who's going to be the one that picks up the check? Because Jon led the league in picking up checks. We saw that with all the beers he bought, and we know that doesn't stop. He was the house to celebrate afterwards. He was the one taking care of everybody. So somebody's got to fill that void. If you had a suggestion for anybody on the team to fill that, who would that player be?
Yeah, it's going to be really tough to replace that. Jon, he was the house. He was always good for, hey, let's grab dinner. We're going to need Riz to step up. Everybody knows that about Riz. Let's just put it all on Riz and make him pick up every check, and then we can make him feel bad if he doesn't. I think I'm all in on that.
I think that is a great plan, and it just shows you how much you're preparing, not just at baseball, but what it takes to be a team leader and making sure that Anthony picks up all those checks is just another suggestion that, man, I think everybody should follow. So good on you for that right there. And thanks for stopping by and joining us here at Off the Mound, man. It's great to catch up with you, Ian. I wish you nothing but success coming up in 2021, as you know.
Thanks so much, Dan.
Well, there you have it, folks. Ian Happ joining us right here on Off the Mound. Talked a little bit about Jon Lester's preparation. Well, it wasn't just a pitcher that Jon was. He did many other things, too. We're going to dive into that as we take a short little break and come back with more Off the Mound presented by Sloan right after this.
Need your Chicago sports fix? This is your source for Chicago sports. Marquee Sports Network's got you covered.
The offense looked much better. Guys were moving back and forth.
Tune in weeknights to the stadium for all your Chicago sports breaking news, highlights, and expert analysis.
We need to make moves with one eye on the future, also have a really competitive team.
Catch the stadium, your source for Chicago sports news on Marquee Sports Network. Proudly presented by FanDuel. More ways to win.
Some Western philosopher once said, "The point of life is helping each other get through it." These days, we're all looking forward to getting back to the way things were. But even the days we wish to forget have had moments we'll want to remember. Moments that defined us. And at Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, we know that in the end, how we get through it all will always depend on who we get through it all with.
Your brain is an amazing thing, but as you get older, it naturally begins to change, causing a lack of sharpness or even trouble with recall. Thankfully, the breakthrough in Prevagen helps your brain and actually improves memory. The secret is an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish. In clinical trials, Prevagen has been shown to improve short-term memory. Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
You know Miller Lite only has one more calorie, right?
Good choice.
Dear Winter, I'm coming. My squad of 15 vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready to take you on. Safety's the name of my game, so you better bundle up. Toyota.
Get 0.9% APR for 60 months on a new 2021 RAV4 or lease a new 2021 Highlander Hybrid for $319 a month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Catch the Off the Mound with Ryan Dempster podcast to hear exciting conversations with former players and personalities.
Trying to shut the world out and at least have some time by myself to kind of take it all in, because as soon as it was over, it was chaos for the next 4 hours.
New episodes every Monday on MarqueeSportsNetwork.com. Presented by Sloan.
Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Mound. Here at Off the Mound, we tend to be a lighthearted show, but unfortunately, we have some sad news today. The baseball world is mourning the passing of the legend Henry Aaron. That's right, Hank Aaron, second all-time in home runs. Of course, we all remember that home run he hit off of Al Downing into the bullpen in Atlanta, breaking Babe Ruth's record, a record that stood for a long, long time. And all the things he overcame to have the career that he did. Growing up as a man of color in the South, dealing with racism that we can't even begin to imagine. And he just continued to plow forward. His work on the baseball field was small in compared to his work off the field. What he did as a humanitarian and as a person, as a civil rights leader, was truly some remarkable stuff. It's not too often that you get to meet people like this. I was lucky enough to meet him twice. Once in 2000 at the All-Star game in Atlanta. He was throwing out the first pitch, and we were in the dugout, and you could just see all of these superstars and these great players, future Hall of Famers, with their eyes open, their ears open, their mouth closed, and just listening and seeing this great man who did remarkable things on the baseball field as he smiled and laughed and then went out and threw a first pitch. Truly a special day for a young guy like me. I remember just being in complete and utter awe that the legend Hank Aaron was that close to me. Later on in life, getting a chance to go to another All-Star game in 2008, they had an incredible ceremony on the field where they had all the legends out at each position, likes of Ernie Banks and Billy Williams and other Hall of Famers. And it really was incredible to see all of them, all of these other legends, these Hall of Famers, these men who did incredible things on a baseball field, look at Hank Aaron in awe in admiration. And I think that really tells a true story of him, because it wasn't just what he did on the baseball field, it's what he did off the field and how he helped people grow and advance civil rights. He's a true humanitarian, and today in the baseball world, we mourn him. Henry Aaron, passing away at the age of 86.
Aaron waiting, the outfield deep and straight away. Fastball is a high drive into deep left center field. Buckner goes back to the fence. It is gone. What a marvelous moment for baseball. What a marvelous moment for Atlanta and the state of Georgia. What a marvelous moment for the country and the world. A black man is getting a standing ovation in the Deep South for breaking a record of an all-time baseball idol.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest Cubs of